Alright, let's actually jump into the game here. It's going to be Tongfu versus DK. This is the other side of the lower brackets. Loser goes home. And of course, the other part of the storyline, this is a preview of the DSL Grand Final that's also being broadcasted by Beyond the Summit tomorrow. That's a best of 5, but today, best of 3.
Right. So we're going to see the advance. I think no one will disagree that Bad Rider most of the times, especially in Chinese Dota, deserves a van every single time.
Yep.
What about the Nyx Assassin? Do you like the van? Are you scared of the hero personally?
In pubs, yes, because it's one of those heroes that no matter how well you do, like you could be 10-0-5, and he still come out and kill you. You're like, come on, you just ruined my perfect game. In pro games, it's hit or miss, and a lot of time it has been missed. We saw Chuan play really well just the game now, but sometimes you just don't get enough EXP. Remember yesterday it was like max
Yeah, without mana burn.
Yeah, no mana burn build. I was like, what was that? I think that was LGN playing that.
I was like, Airman gave him an idea. I don't know if you know the player from Virtus Pro.
Yeah.
Does crazy things like 1 point in spin Juggernaut and max Dragon Tail without Dragon Breath, Dragon Knight. Yeah.
Also, solo mid Nyx Assassin have been working out that well. I'm personally not a big fan of that hero, but teams value him enough.
What does solo mid Nyx? I mean, for the people who are just watching here and just while we wait, what does Nyx Assassin win strongly against when he's playing mid?
He actually doesn't win any lane. He's like DK, like the hero that you love so much. But he's actually really good at keeping the other hero mid. Because they don't have any mana to gank. Like against a Queen of Pain, against a Puck, it's like, yeah, you outlasted me, I can't harass you. But you damn sure get no mana to gank. So he just gets level 6 and kind of just like roam off the lane.
Makes sense.
That's kind of what he does.
So we see some kind of a respect ban. The anti-mage, James was right, is going to be a non-factor in this game.
Yep.
So Burning will have to choose another hero. And this worries me a little because now there's a possibility of an Alchemist.
Yes.
An Alchemist has been a pick that has been trending so much during this cup.
I think that if DK bans Alchemist right now, hero, and they do ban out Alchemist, Weaver is going to be the big factor. Tongfu plays Weaver a ton. They know the in and out of this particular hero. Maybe they won't pick it up early right now. There's no reason to. But if DK picks himself a Lifestealer, for example, that's one of the better counter picks to me.
If you just drunkenly stumbled into this channel and think this is Western Dota, you might be surprised at the lack of a Wisp ban. We might add that Chinese teams do not enjoy the Wisp at all.
They don't enjoy the Wisps. To me, they don't know how to play the Wisp, play against the Wisp. It's a hero that definiting warps the game quite a bit.
Right.
We saw Treant Protector being used by IG earlier, so it's definitely the Chinese team are paying attention. They know why the heroes are strong, and they're definitely learning how to use it. So maybe even TI3, we'll start seeing the Chinese team.
No, it'll be the Spirit Cow.
The Spirit Cow, the Space Cow.
TI3 Space Cow.
Okay.
That's
can they play the Space Jam music while he's charging?
Yeah.
There's a lot of slamming.
There's a lot of slamming and jamming.
Space Cow.
And now we see 2 quick picks, and I like the. It's actually a bit harder to just talk about picks and bans during the. With the news set, but I really like this second pick, like when you get the first and second pick, because when you see someone picking that so fast, you know that they want to set a tone.
Yes.
With the Naga Siren, they're saying, if you want to pick Lifestealer, go ahead. You're going to pay for this. Gyrocopter, strong laning. Now, Naga Siren can be played as a secondary carry, as a position 2 in an offensive tri lane, and let the Gyrocopter go in the safe lane. Or it can be a support Naga Siren as well, something that we've seen. Naga Siren can be played mid.
Yes.
Naga Siren can be played any single position.
Kind of like the Alchemist, you know?
Kind of like the Alchemist.
Generally not as common to play the one row in the tri lane, but it goes back to your point. It kind of goes in every row. In fact, it was Tongfu yesterday against LG, and that picked Naga and Gyrocopter and went offensive tri lane with it.
Right.
So perhaps DK is taking those heroes away from them. Maybe they're going to run offensive tri lane in this particular game as well. I kind of doubt it because you're going offensive tri lane against Visage, and that's kind of a different beast. We do see the Lifestealer picked up, so if Tongfu don't... well,
they go for the bait. Like, DK said, okay, go ahead, pick Lifestealer. We have Ensnare for you. We have Song of the Siren to just isolate you when you're in rage and try to just single target focus you. Even if you don't get to kill him, you probably will lower his HP enough so that once the Song of the Siren is over, you can just finish him. Tongfu says, I don't care. I think the hero is strong, and more so with the Visage, because the potential of getting an open wound early with a Grave Chill and then a couple of hits. What's the name of Visage? Soul Assumption.
Soul Assumption, yep.
But paired with anything else, pretty much you can put whatever you want in that tri-lane, and you have such a lot of killing potential. Naga Siren and Gyrocopter, a melee hero and a pretty small range hero, will have to play very carefully against these two.
And the Razor banned, so we sent, I think it was Team Zenith in the Alienware Cups. Of course, all of these references we'll be making are mostly from Alienware Cups, and if you haven't seen those games, we had some most amazing games.
Right.
Of course, it was Tongfu versus Navi Game 1 that was the most spectacular game so far, but a ton of it were great games to watch, and you could always watch it in the alienwarecup.com, all spoiler-free.
All spoiler-free.
Razor from Team Zenith, I think it was like round 1 of the
the
upper
first
bracket.
round of the playoffs.
They just completely decimated the enemy against LGD International with the Razor Pagan.
With a Timbersaw as well in the second game of that matchup. Very interesting.
It was very, very kind of intelligent Dota, and the Chinese are catching on. They're like, man, this hero owns Lifestealer very hard.
Right, and in the same vein, we can see the Storm Spirit ban. This is clearly aimed towards, we do not want to play against an Ice Bomb. The ability of heroes like Naga Siren and probably other heroes that they're thinking of picking is that as long as you keep the Lifestealer in front of you, like he has to pass. Imagine if this was like American football, you have to break through this.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about American football, so I'm like the worst person.
Okay, so imagine you're against a group of very big people, and the people that you want to get to are behind the very big people.
Okay.
And you have to get through, but these very big people are very big, so you can't go through them.
Uh-huh.
But if you have a storm, it's like having a guy that can go through those very big people.
Do they jump over?
Yes.
That's sick.
Yeah, because they're really, really good at it.
Okay.
So you can power through these guys, and I'm thinking DK will probably want to have these strong line guys and want to protect against the Storm Spirit. The Weaver is banned out, as you probably mentioned before. It's an interesting possible tricore with the Gyrocopter, Weaver, and Naga Siren. It's a lot of physical damage. It's a lot of mobility. It's a lot of
farm too.
A lot of farm too.
Yeah.
And in the same vein, it's like, well, we don't like the ability of the Storm Spirit to carry the Lifestealer anywhere. We also don't like the Nature's Prophet, because he can take Lifestealer on a free TP ride wherever, and also he will find the farm. And as much as he's not a late game carry kind of hero, he finds the farm and he hurts.
He becomes a carry. We've seen, I think, many Chinese teams in the past in the form of Xiao 8's Nature's Prophet. I think Tongfu used it a couple times ago as well.
Boo!
It could be a one roll, man. It could be a one roll.
Boo!
You know, teleporting and getting Raxus on Nature's Prophet.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a threat. But Darkseer being picked up, a hero that I'm personally quite happy about, and I'm surprised that he's picked up so late, because generally he's like the first pick or the first ban. Meanwhile, a hero that you're not happy to pick it out is it's a Dragonite, and contrary to what I just said, I don't think he's going to be going in the one row. He's going to be going mid.
He's going to be going mid, and if he decides to go mid and play against the Naga Siren, he'll have a tough time anyways, because the Naga Siren can out-harass him with Riptide being much cheaper, can out-control the runes by means of Ensnare, and also something we've seen Ice do a lot, and he does perfectly, is 15 seconds before the rune spawn, he pops the mirror image, takes one image to each of the runes. So even if he can't get the rune, he can at least deny it. And by denying the runes to Dragon Knight, he will be a very, very sad hero forced to Battle Crow anyways. And I'm kind of looking at this. I've seen this, you're going to laugh at this, but the first guys I saw this DK lineup being played were the Cupid Red Pandas. Back when they didn't suck as much.
Oh wow.
They had this idea of Naga Siren go to sleep, Darkseer goes with the vacuum. I mean, you have the Jakiro that can pop the Ice Path immediately before even the Naga Siren is over.
Yeah.
So you can remove Naga Siren and the guys are immediately stunned. And then you have the Darkseer wall into Gyrocopter, vacuum wall into Gyrocopter. It's kind of like a very big wombo combo lineup, but as far as combo lineups go, it's very easy to execute because you have lots of leeway. Kind of like, you remember when Darkseer vacuum would work in the song?
Yeah.
You can still move the people. This holds a bit of that idea. So now DK's 5v5 lineup, very scary. Against split push, they're not as good because they don't have as much to clear waves super fast. But if you look at Tongfu's lineup, they were not going to split push.
They don't have a split pusher just yet. Good thing to point that one out. They haven't drafted their long lane just yet, so that could be the split pushing hero. Meanwhile,
there's a lone druid in the pool, and if I was DK, I would ban that.
But the Chinese haven't been picking lone druid. It's teams like Orange on KYXY that's picking the lone druid the most in this tournament. So maybe they have great lone druid players.
I mean, lone druid lifestealer is always scary.
It's always scary. Although tree scarier against these two heroes apparently. But
Definitely.
to me, I think I see some sort of offensive tri-lane capability from DK with Naga, Gyrocopter, Jakiro, and then you go Darkseer, maybe even on your safe lane, and then you say, man, Dragon Knight, free lane.
Yes.
Free lane to win over. So they could even get very, very greedy on the mid as well. Or they could, I mean, again, these heroes are so versatile that they could do pretty much everything.
I like the Magnus one. I have to say I like the Magnus one. It gives Tongfu some pretty necessary kind of team fight. Of course, Tongfu, as I said before, you don't want to team fight against DK. With Naga Siren being able to reset pretty much everything, Darkseer, the ability to move the heroes around is one of the biggest things in Dota. And of course, Jakiro and Gyrocopter, lots of AoE damage as well. We see the Slark van, and what do you think of that?
I mean, if Slark goes solo mid 1v1 against DK, you put money in a Slark, right?
Oh,
Essence Shift? Well, you put money on the whoever.
yeah, I put Crystal Maiden versus DK, and I put my money on Crystal Maiden.
Crystal Maiden actually does well as a team.
I know.
I tried.
I know.
You know, you could bet money on that one. But Slark just owns DK very, very much so in the mid lane. And we do see sometimes random Chinese team ban out like Slark in the 5th ban. I guess they've been using it in terms of scrim as well. Maybe.
Well, wasn't it Chuan that said that Slark was going to become a top pick in the scene just before it went into CM? I think he did. Really? Chuan said Slark is going to become a top pick in the scene.
I think that statement was reinforced quite a bit by TC during the G1 LAN final, and after Chuan's butt was really sore from that Ethereal Blaze Slark.
Could have been.
Yeah, could have been. But we're not going to see it this game. DK looking at the final pickup here.
Do you pick a support now? Or do you pick another? Like, do you
I
go
personally really like Naga as a support. So
the problem is that you have no range whatsoever in that lineup. It's a very no personal space kind of lineup.
Argentinian lineup.
Yes, a very Argentinian lineup.
It's okay, man. Like Lifestealer DK, they don't.
And there's your range.
This is QPAD Red Panda.
This
right
is
here.
QPAD Red Pandas, dude. DK.
DK just opened up some
You
dream
picked
pack.
the wrong team to watch the scrims. It was Alliance. EGM was going to play for the Pandas, but he went for this other team. Never mind.
Well, that's your solo mid. That's Kunkka. You're gonna be having some sort of offensive / defensive tri-lane. Is this like DreamHack Invitational? I remember seeing this lineup.
They used to run Shadow Demon and Lina with the Kunkka, and also sometimes Faithless Void as a carry instead of the Gyrocopter.
But this is the biggest wombo combo ever, right? And Enigma at a return of the Enigma. Oh man, you know eHome 2010, 820. I'm getting my numbers mixed up. This is gonna be absolutely amazing to watch. And I'm not gonna predict the lanes because they have so much variability and versatility in terms of the laning.
There's no point in that. What I can predict is that this is going to be a match very, very different to the ones we've seen so far in this cup. We haven't seen the Kunkka.
Yes.
We haven't seen this such a big combo lineup facing what is a very greedy lineup as well. You have the Hao and the DK, which I predict is going to fail, but if he doesn't, he can become pretty scary. And Enigma is pretty nice because if you get a BKB, what can they do against your black hole?
They could net you.
Yeah, and that's it.
Right.
And that's
but they can net you, right?
They can net you, yeah. That's fine.
The problem is, before you get the BKB, no matter where you are, the song is going to cancel you. Yep. It's like having almost a silencer on the team, or having a storm on the team. Like it's really, really hard for Enigma to actually get off a really good black hole. At the same time, I really like it in this particular matchup because you give yourself a quick mech.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I sometimes as an Enigma, you want to decide to rush a Blink Dagger or a BKB if there is another mech carrier. Sometimes we see Darkseer and Enigma in the same team, in which case the Darkseer can say, well, I'll go for the mech. Enigma, you become our big initiator, so you can just go there. In this case, he will have to go for the mech 100%.
Yes.
But as far as that goes,
this is a good item.
An Enigma can get a mech in 8 minutes.
Yes, if you farm the good jungle, if you farm it quite nicely. Also, what it does give you in this particular game is really good ganks out of jungle. When your Dragon Knight, when and if he needs that help, he could come out with Eidolons.
How strong is the new
Malefice? It is really, really good.
It is so strong.
Yeah, I'm going to paraphrase, since we have a little bit of time here in a game of pause. I'm going to paraphrase AUI 2000. Very intelligent player here. He said that when in the early game ganking phase, it's more important to have 0.5 mini-stun for 3 of them than a full 1 second stun
Absolutely.
for one duration, because it allows whoever you're chasing to stutter step. Attack once, animation cancel, walk forward a little bit, attack more. You get a lot more physical attack in.
It's not only about the physical attack. It's like you're committing this guy to say, you can't TP.
Yeah.
You can't use any channeling spell.
Right.
Whatever you do, if you decide to just turn around on me, you'll have a disadvantage 2 or maybe 1 more time. And that disadvantage is something that you can't predict as well. Sometimes when you're playing and you get the feeling and you're a pro player, you know how much damage you can take and how much damage you can deal.
Right.
When you get those mini stuns in between, it gets more
It's
fuzzier.
really annoying, yeah.
So, a very, very strong spell out now. And speaking of the Tongfu lineup as well, one thing about this Rubik will be happy. He has lots of things to steal.
If he doesn't die.
If he doesn't die,
Because
he
it's
stays
one more
behind.
convo, right?
He can always, sometimes you can steal Song of the Siren, you can steal the boat from the Kunkka, even if you steal the torrent, it's still good. Vacuum wall, all great spells.
Call down. Ice path.
If you get the ice path, it's really cool because it's like, bam, ice path. It's
instant,
not like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to throw an ice path.
Yeah. Here's the thing for me.
Please translate.
You also know this is 2010 eHome Dota because I think this is King J off-lane Enigma. When's the last time we've seen one of those?
It's been quite a while.
Yeah.
It's been at least 1 year solid.
For those of you guys that have never seen really that phase, what you do with the offlane Enigma is you get a ton of like clarities or soul ring or whatever, and you keep denying your creep. And not only that, the creep equilibrium is slowly going to go to your tower. But not only that, you get a ton of right click damage. You get to outlane pretty much any 1v1 straight up.
In 1v1 scenario, he's kind of like the leech pick that some Western teams have started exploring.
Right.
It's really bad against a though.
It's also very bad against Gyrocopter Flat Cannon.
Yes.
Yeah.
But against a tri-lane, they will just outpush you. They will take your tier 1, tier 2 tower, and they'll be thanking you for making it easier to push. But in a 1v1, you can pretty much outlast hit anyone in the game. And as long as you can keep those Eidolons alive, because they give lots of experience and gold, you will be able to control the lane as much as you want.
So I think what King J and what Tongfu wants is to match the Enigma against the Darkseer. So you have the Eidolon to out-damage him, to out-deny him. More importantly, we talked about the Malefice. Malefice, the new one, really good against Surge.
Yes.
He's like max movement speed, oh wait. Max movement speed, oh wait. So, and of course, all the meanwhile, the Eidolon is going to be hailing on them. But let's actually introduce a player here. On the Radiant side, it is Tongfu. And I think some is your favorite to particularly win this best of 3 series.
Now that they have a Dragon Knight, I'm not entirely sure.
Okay, well, for now, King J is going to be playing on the offlane Enigma. We're going to have, who is this? Banana on the support Rubik. Shansheng on the support Visage. Meanwhile, Moo's going to be going solo mid on the Dragon Knight. And last but not least, Hao on the 1-row lifesteal.
I like the idea of giving Banana the Rubik. I think it's a higher skilled support than the Visage. Shansheng being weaker in terms of player skill gets the easy support. And for the side of DK, we have Burning will be playing the Gyrocopter carry. Stupor will be playing the mid Enigma. QQQ the Jakiro, and MMY the support Naga Siren. Finally, in the safe lane, I think it's going to, or no, the jungle, I guess, will be ROTK, our hit or miss player. Exciting to watch.
For me, he's more of a hit than a miss. But let's see if he's going to start in the jungle or if he's going to go on the off lane. Maybe they're kind of just trying to scope up some lanes. Meanwhile, we do have Observer being played by Shansheng. Not sure whether it sees all the way across here. I don't think it does. These guys are kind of roaming back and forth. Now they will see a ton of hero running across, trying to secure this particular rune. And of course, Hao on the bot lane. How do you like the lanes? It seems like it's going to be each lane's dodging each other. The tri lanes dodging each other. Who does this favor, and who do you like overall in terms of more in the draft?
Well, when you do something like that, you have to look at the power of the rotating supports. Visage not the most interesting of rotating supports at all. And now we see a little bit of a battle for the warding, and Shansheng will not be able to have that observer there. That's a big loss, because now you only get 2 observers, and with only 2, you just lost 1. You will have no visions in the map. Suddenly, this favors DK a lot, because these supports, they can rotate, they can get some kills, and all you need is 1 kill and move, and he will be really, really sad.
Yeah, I'm not too sure why these two support angrily D-wards Sentry Ward, because he has done this job. King J, of course, like you said, not going to do much against a particular tri-lane, so he's going to jungle up. So very Darkseer-esque in terms of his jungle. He does have a ton of clarities. Not working towards a quick sobering, though. That's definitely a drawback. What are these two supports doing right now? They're trying to set up a gank on the mid lane here. Does have Dragon Tail level 2, and it's go time, baby. They're going to stun through on Super. A couple of nice right click here. You got to lift him up, toss him back. Really, really good. And that's going to be a fairly easy kill. It looks like it's not a first blood kill as Tower got that one.
It is a first blood kill. It's
right. But nobody got the extra gold.
Exactly. I mean, they all got a little bit of the extra gold, which is nice because now the supports will have enough money to maybe make the career flag, which they just did. You know, early boots on a Rubik is clutch because he's so slow.
Yeah, he really is. And it really helps that telekinesis range. Meanwhile, it looks like King J is still jungling up. My camera is mostly on him because everybody else is doing the fairly standard thing. We do see stacking, we do see pulling, but we haven't seen Enigma jungling for a while.
He's not taking much care of his Eidolons.
He is not. They are your sons and daughters, Enigma. Yeah.
Wow, really?
I'm ashamed, King J.
I'm surprised. I'm not sure if I'm ashamed, but I'm really surprised at this. In the meantime, Mu is kind of happy right now because he got a little bit of advantage over Super. Super is going to play more passively now. He doesn't know where the supports are. He'll have to now he knows, and he'll be able to just try and get a couple of last hits. Of course, level 3 means level 2 Tidebringer, but once he hits level 5, that Tidebringer starts melting people. Yeah, the extra armor of your Dragon Blood's not going to do too much as Cleave ignores that armor, although Mu doing a very good job denying out harassing Super, so that's pretty good. And even Shanshun's going to show up here a little bit and harass. In fact, Mu's just completely zoning Super out of the lane just with a threat of a support behind him. And that's how you win a lane with Dragon Knight, because he can't do it solo, but if you bring a support, then suddenly it's much more even. Will Super have to ask a support to rotate? Maybe a possibility, since Merlini has a free lane up top, and that Jakiro and that Naga Siren are getting a little bit bored. Yeah, they're going to try their best to do a little bit of pull themselves. Meanwhile, we do see one of the Enigma illusions sitting up top. I really like this move. It's not going to do too much in the jungle. It shows to enemy supports like, hey man, I'm back. But I'm pretty sure DK really is aware of this because they saw the illusion war being picked up on the bot. So and if they don't, the illusion is going to disappear in 5 seconds. So no worries about that. I think DK has to keep pulling, has to keep giving levels to the support, or go to help the Kanka mid. Although the Kanka seems to be happy, very healthy, full health rare. Mu is trying to harass him a little bit, but Super, level 5, as I said, it becomes really, really complicated. On the bottom lane, sorry. You were going to say. Yeah, actually, Super was really, really paranoid about that gank. If you look at his item build, he's gone boots first instead of a quick bottle rush, which is generally what you go for standard on the mid 1v1 matchup. So that gank really changed how this particular mid lane is going. Because Dragon Knight's bottle crawling, he could harass a lot better, as well as farm better, and Super is kind of just playing defensive, very scared. King J is level 4, and now he's getting into the lane. There's 4 people congregated there. They're going to take this tower because there's no enemy, so why not? Well, our OTK knows this, and he starts rotating bottom. Now, he's a level 5 Darkseer, he has a level 3 Iron Shell, but does he dare get close, first of all? No, not against the Malefice. Malefice is going to mean the death of him. He's going to try to run close, but TP's going to come to the mid lane. It's going to be a smoke gang against Mu. Mu really big in trouble. Can he bottle for a little bit of HP? What a telekinesis coming up from Banana. You say he is the higher impact support. 3-man telekinesis done. Beautiful play. Back in the bot lane here. Push continues. Yep. And now the Knight's zoning out the Darkseer. He doesn't want to get close to the creep wave, which means that more time for the supports to hit the tower. There will be another batch of Eidolons in about 4 mana. Yeah, now he has it because he has its soul ring. More importantly, the siege unit kept alive because of how tanky the tower. So very, very nicely played. And you know, Darkseer is going to get some level. In fact, he's actually level 6. That's pretty impressive leveling in about 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes. Well, he went into the jungle. So, and then when he came here, he found himself a big push, which he capitalized by taking all the experience. So it's going okay. I think the biggest concern is now the rotation. There's a smoke. No, it's an invisibility rune from Jakiro. And there's only a Rubik there. Now, Bernie sees it. Banana should be dead. Yeah, he should be really, really dead. He has no mana, just a telekinesis. That's all he has. Dual breath, ensnare. The cooldown's going to be used as well. TP's going to come in the form of King J. He's only level 4.5. He's going to get some EXP under this particular tower, but that's all he's going to get. They are going to get a tier 1 on the bot lane, but giving a kill to Burning, it's not going to be, or in this particular lane, not to Burning exactly. But yeah, giving a kill away is never a good thing, especially when he didn't even get anything in return. We'll see if they can defend this. Now he's managing, micromanaging his Eidolons. They're taking the creep boy away. This tower almost in deny range. DK Burning doesn't want to hit it because they know if he just don't get to kill him, that Enigma with the Eidolons will deny the tower. That's a lot of gold wasted. Especially now that towers give a lot of more gold since the 678 change. Oh, they don't actually give more gold? Yeah, they do.
Well, we'll check the number behind it, unless...
It used to be 200. I mean, they give more gold to supports and everyone else in the team. That's what I mean. Used to be just 200. Now it's 280 something.
Yeah. Well, again, we'll look at those later. I'm not wrong. Fuck you, Bruno. Later, as Moo is
this is gonna end badly, guys. Okay, let's move along.
Yeah, let's move along. As Moo is actually doing a very good job. If you look at the way that he's playing Dragon Knight, what he likes to do is even tank the tower hit a bit, run in to get a hit. Because if you get that Dragon poison thingy on it, it does 60 damage per buff. Yeah. That's a ton of damage against a tower. Like, no other spell in the game does nearly enough damage as a spell. So
and tier 1 towers do not have backdoor protection.
Exactly. So you could do that. Back in the top lane, it looks like teleport is coming in. Tower is going to be denied by King J. And now they're going to still no Black Gold just yet. Only level 5. Great Ice Path here. And with the call down, they're going to zone everybody out. But like you said, the tower in deny range and very, very good rotation from Tongfu to make sure they don't lose anything there.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a wash, I think. They lost the tower. They got the deny, which is good because that's what they were aiming. But they invested 2 TPs, I think, to go for that. So a little bit of money wasted, especially on the Enigma. We talked about the importance of having that early mech. We said about how you can get in 8-9 minutes. But if you're rotating so much, if you're trying to help your teammates, well, now he only has the headdress if he wants to go for it. And he'll probably need much more than that if he wants to get the mech.
Yeah, Moo is waiting for his bottle to come through so he has more mana. Should be actually bottle curling, or Tress swapping a little bit better. To conserve his mana. And of course, with the range of the Dragon Tail, he should be able to actually kill Super with the help of a Rubik behind him. But Rubik rotates away up top, maybe dropping a couple wards, maybe even stacking a camp as it is coming up.
You know, I normally see DKs in general being more liberal with their torrents. Now he goes for it, as I said that exactly. You normally want to spend your mana because you will be bottling anyway, and you will want to just even it's kind of like the arrow from Mirana that G was playing the other day.
Right.
It's not about getting all of the hits. It's about being the constant threat of getting a torrent. And if you get a torrent right, you can go and try to make a kill, especially now that the supports are in his lane.
Yep. Meanwhile, I do want to point out that if you look at Super skill build, he's actually maxing torrents. Maxing Tidebringer is generally what we see more commonly. Yeah. Any thoughts on that particular skill build change? Are you doing it for the ensnare? So you
wow.
Well,
he was trying. When you max torrent, what you want to do is maximize the burst damage that you can do. You can do damage with the torrent, you can do damage with the ghost ship. Of course, you lose a little bit of damage of Tidebringer, but if you add up, the math favors maxing torrent. The problem with that is that you rely on that spell and you do not have as much capacity to harass. Maybe he thought that Moo with the Dragon Blood will be able to sustain the harass, and maybe it's not worth it. Maybe he just doesn't want to push the lane as much because when you hit with Tidebringer, you move the lane against.
Right.
But in the mid lane, that doesn't really matter.
Moving the lane is completely fine. I think what he's really worried about is the constant gank. And here comes Moo again, just popping that ultimate, just working that tower. Hey, just free damage that he's just doing it. Meanwhile, it looks like RTK coming, rotating it on the bot lane. Does have an Invisor in the bottle, but is going to scope out by a Radiant Observe Ward. Moo constantly full mana, full HP, and here comes a rotation of those Eidolons. I think they want to fight tier 1 mid, and ROTK should not be showing himself. Torrent is not going to hit on anybody. Surge on ROTK, thinking about coming in, but MMY thinks he's going to sleep, but he's only level 4. He's trying to do something. Coco Rum or not, they just die, and they're going to come in for the tier 1, and there's nothing they could do about it. Really, really good play from Tongfu.
Yeah, and really questionable play from MMY. He was completely out of position there. He got stunned by Dragon Knight, and then the rest was history. King J, the only one to get hit by the boat, but that didn't really do much. He just took a little bit of damage. The Soul Ring region will help him go through it. He hits a tango, and now they can't just really approach. Look at that.
Tongfu coming from behind. The Ice Path is going to miss. The burst going to be coming through it. That should be a free kill. Wall's going to get dropped on Hao, but Hao's raged up, so he doesn't really care. Man, they don't have what it takes to take this fight. And of course, a nice Infest. I was going to come back and maybe even rage away. Any Ensnare against him?
No, in 2 seconds maybe, but no, it's too late now.
Yeah.
They have to run away. And the most important thing, Bernie had to rotate to help defend. And that's something that you do not want to do. You want Bernie to keep being this main farmer. He has 66 last hits. He wants to go for more. I mean, it's decent for 10 minutes, but the more you can get with the gyrocopter, once you get ahead of the Knights, then you actually have control of the game.
Yeah, I mean, rotating defend is nice if you could get like, a couple of creeps under that tower, or maybe even a hero kill on a support or something like that. He didn't get anything. He just rotated, and the Radiant says, all right, we'll back off now. So I feel like overall, Tongfu is actually playing better than the DK in this game. They're rotating better. Their supports are playing better. They're ganking better as well. And now Hao is going to be farming up top. Face drums armlet, as standard as it gets on your life stealers.
And yes, and it's a very, very good choice. I mean, at this point, you will want to melt this. Whoops.
I got it.
They got, yeah.
Just barely on the mid lane, and this is why you actually max a Torn on the mid lane. You use the ensnare to set up that 100% damage on the Torn, and then you just follow with everything else. But that's the third bolt that Super has dropped, and the first one hitting. Not a good track record so far, but bolt does a fairly short cooldown. What he does have to be very careful about is not letting Banana steal bolt. Stealing Torn and X is, it's sad. You have to give away a spell. But if you give him that bow, my goodness, the cooldown and the mana is so low that Rubik could definitely support it very easily.
I'm not too concerned about DK yet, because one of the things that I talked about during the draft stage is that the power of this team is a team fight.
Wombo combo.
Once they all hit level 6 and now they have control of everything, they're not there yet. If you look at Darkseer, he went for wall somewhat early.
Yep.
Some people wait until level 10, 11 to get it. He's just had a level 9 wall straight away. I think it was a level 8 wall because he used it before in the other team fight. Meaning that they want to get the team fight online as soon as possible. But we'll have to wait until level 6 on the Naga Siren, and she's getting there, slowly but surely.
Yeah, that kill in the mid lane definitely very helpful in doing that. Lifesteal is going to be on the run. And for Tongfu's sake, I think they should actually abuse the push in their lineup a little bit more. When you have things like Birds, Eidolons, and of course Dragonite, you should be just hammering on the tower one after another. Maybe force some team fight. Now, when you are pushing, you're clumping up, and you are making those wombo combo a little bit easier. So it's kind of a give and take situation. And Tongfu so far is doing okay. They're up by 4,000 gold.
What do you think about Sansheng's laziness and giving the verse to Mu? Now look, if you look at Mu.
Yeah, I know, he's constantly beyond. I mean, Mu's getting ganked, right? So maybe it's laziness, maybe it's like, hey man, it's like
I don't want to micro those guys.
The free backups, man.
I click them on you and do something. I share control with you.
Yeah, that's cool. That's fine. But speaking of Sansheng, he's actually farming the mech on the bot lane and getting a little bit of level here with Rubik.
He's actually getting a super fast mech.
Yeah.
I mean, for 4 support, that's a lot he got there. I mean, he got that from pulls only and pretty much a couple team fights.
Those towers really help.
Yeah, exactly. Now the Darkseer, which should be doing better. Actually, the Darkseer is going. Yeah, he's going. Wait a minute. If Visage is going for the mech, what is Enigma going for? He's going straight to BKB. He will be getting that very fast as well. He only needs 700 more gold.
I'll talk about the BKB in a bit because Samsung is about to get ganked quite easily. Smoke breaks, the X is going to be used, Torn's going to be jumped as well, and, well, the bolt's going to be used.
Wow.
Well,
kill secure, guys.
Overkill maybe, and Naga Siren is going to kill that one. Not exactly the biggest deal because the bolt has a very low cooldown, but here comes the Life Stealer. Maybe it wasn't overkill. Nice surge back out, and what was it stolen? It was the ghost ship. 500 damage and a stun. Oh my goodness. And here it comes. They're going to focus on ROTK as well. Song of Siren is going to be used, but these birds do not give a hoot about Song of Siren. And they will actually kill him as well. I said 500 damage and a stun. That was the old bolt at level 16. Now it's 350 at level 1, but hey, it's all good. But BKB first on Enigma. The reason I like it here particularly is because, remember what I said about BKB Enigma is the only way to actually stop it is a Song of Siren.
Right. No, Ensnare.
Oh, sorry, Ensnare. When you play such an under-level Naga, you don't really have high-speed movement items. Your cast point is just so low. Even if you see the black hole coming, you don't have enough time to... Or the black hole is going to last at least 1 or 2 seconds.
Yes.
At the very least. And sometimes that's just enough. So it's not the best item in my opinion, but it's a really, really safe and solid one. It blocks everything else.
I mean, to be fair, if you don't have to go mech, you probably will want to go either BKB or Blink. There are not too many other choices.
Yes.
And if you go Blink there... you have to catch everyone because other than the gyro, which was not going homing missile, well, he has a point, but it's again, it's kind of the same scenario that if you have to shoot a homing missile, the black hole will end before. Pretty much every other guy has ways to stop your black hole. Right. You have to be very, very careful. Even if everyone from DK have very, very small range in their attack, they don't need to be in the fray of the battle. Jakiro can stay behind, Naga Siren can stay behind, even Kanka can stay behind because sometimes all you need is a big boat, and then you can walk there and try to make things happen.
I think the most important part about this BKB, remember the play back in TI2?
Yes.
Remember what beat the play? What beat the Naga Siren vacuum combo?
BKB Enigma.
BKB Enigma. It's just I mean, DK is built on this particular, hey guys, you know, we sleep and we win a team fight, and we go ahead. Enigma, even if he gets his black hole cancel, he's going to be in the middle of the team fight providing a ton of distraction. So it's a hero that you can never really ignore. And I think that's truly why they're going to be getting it. Also, very good job by Shansheng, who's when he's not microing his bird, or when he's yeah, he's actually using them to pull this ancient stack. Look at this humongous
That
stack.
is really nice.
Yeah, and DK, once he turns level 11, we'll go into it. There's also going to be a BKB up on DK as well, and all of these BKBs are going to be fairly effective against this Panda lineup.
Yeah.
It's not DK.
It's a Panda lineup.
It's the Panda, yeah.
60 minutes BKB and Enigma, that's pretty fast if you ask me. I mean, he has brown boots still. He doesn't have any kind of threads or even arcane boot if he decides to go for it. But Burning is going on to his own BKB and he's still way behind.
Yep.
So it's all about to see what will happen in the next team fight. Now Tongfu will be feeling safe and say, okay, we can team fight. We will apply pressure to the last tier 1 alive. They have the dragon, they have pretty much everything online. So does DK, except for the Naga Siren Song, which will be ready in 10 seconds. Will they defend this tier 1 tower? It seems not. It seems that they want to concentrate on something else.
Again, against teams that push, your team fight lineup is going to be fairly effective, but nobody was actually there. And I don't think this is the fight that you want to take. But looks like Tongfu Mu is going to TP back out with the Lifestealer inside. Questionable TP perhaps, or maybe a very smart bait MMY, and how comes popping out and MMY is dead. And of course, Coco Rum does help you move 10% a little bit faster, but how not giving 2 hoots. Maybe open wounds is cooling down a couple seconds. He's going to be making that chase.
He gets it, yeah, he can get it, he can get it.
No, he backs off.
He decides not to the team, the rest of the team is too far away. Enigma, of course, he doesn't have a Blink Dagger, he has a BKB, so he can't get there fast enough.
Uh-oh.
They'll just take what they can.
Suns are coming, dude. The slow's gonna come through as well. Resummon on the Sun, and Shansheng is making some plays.
Wow.
You guys say he can't play Dota. This guy is playing, and he tried to kill Ensure, but Hao is too good for that. But that was some nice Visage play. You could get a full 6-second duration of Suns if you resummon those birds.
Which he did.
Close to it, but getting a kill against Burning though, that was a big deal. Did he have BKB finish? No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. And now he's about 1,000 gold, just a little bit, 800 gold away. Hao, however, will be feeling safe enough to just go for this tower. At this point, there's no boat. There's vacuum wall, but I mean, it's just a vacuum wall, pretty honest. And they can take this tier 2 tower. And after this tier 2 towers, you have an Enigma, you get some Eidolons, go for Roche.
Yeah, you definitely can here. Cliff is going to get forced out. Now, maybe Roche is somewhat dangerous against Naga Siren.
Yeah.
But they're so far ahead. The Torrent's going to hit onto Ice Pack Boat. This is what you want. The Vacuum's going to follow through as well, but BKB #1 and Rage! It did nothing. Well,
the goggles, they do nothing.
It looked cool. But, oh man. So, in that team fight, DK is now down behind 7,500 gold. They don't really have insane kind of comeback mechanics in terms of like finding ganks. You don't have anything like track.
Well, you can win a team fight, right?
Can you? They dropped, like, that was a really good combo.
Yeah.
And it did nothing, so...
Well, one less charge on the BKV for Mu.
Okay.
Small victory.
Small.
He's down to 9 now. Go. I don't know, I have to give these guys something. As you said before, they have the Naga Siren, so they can maybe even try to go for the Roshan themselves. If they get initiated upon, they can always Naga Siren and try to fight or just bail out.
Right.
DK to me is not out of contention at all, but Tongfu is looking really strong.
Yeah, definitely not yet. I think they're still in this game. Like you said, they could sneak a Roche and maybe even force a Roche fight. Go for some pickoffs. Like, Mu's playing really well right now. They have a window of opportunity until he gets a Shadow Blade. Once he gets a Shadow Blade, the game gets a little bit harder. Also, if you saw what he did there, he popped the Invis Rune and then teleported.
Right.
Your Invis Rune has a little bit of fade time, and if you use any action, like bottle charge or you give in the teleport scroll during there,
right,
you TP on the bot lane, Invis. So that's pretty cool. But nothing happens because DK does not push.
I'm guessing you play lots of Witch Doctor with bottle. You can get the invisibility.
Pretty sick moves. Pretty sick moves.
That's something that's really nice. Now Burning trying to secure his 2 stack. It's not the biggest of stack, and when you see all the 5 people trying to gather for the experience, you know you are pretty starved in that department right now. Does Tongfu know? Maybe they know. They don't really care right now because they're farming their jungle. The lanes are pushed. I think Nike is rotating. No, Banana is rotating top, which will give him a little bit of farm and closer to that level 11. Level 11 not as huge in Rubik as in other heroes, but if you get a good spell, you can keep it for what?
Who was the
5
Rubik?
minutes.
Who was the Rubik yesterday? I think you and I were watching.
Yeah, someone we did like just level 1 ultimate and went max null field.
Yeah, it had like some next level skill build, he was like taking no peel over spell steal, which in that game made a lot of sense because there wasn't many good spells to steal, so you don't have to keep them around for a long time. This game, there's nothing but good spell to steal, like you pointed out. So you definitely want to be leveling up spell steal this game.
DK has a new chance to just try to picture the initiation. They have all the spells ready. They have all the levels they need. They decide to back off. They can't fight 5v5. With that BKB on the Enigma, that's threatening enough. And now if he wants to go for a Blink Dagger, he can get it in about 2 minutes or so.
Yeah. I mean, if he wants to tank up, that's not a bad way to go about it. Like, if you get a Necro Book, maybe even a Force Staff, I don't think he needs to initiate. They're going to just, like, A-move into the enemy base and say, hey, DK, we're clumped. You come to us. But we have Rage. We have 2 BKBs. And look at how he's one-man zoning out 4 or 5. Like, that's when you're in bad shape. RTK gets initiate on it. Everybody got to throw. Where's the BKB? The BKB's got to get popped. The song is not comboing through. That is called a Nambo. As nothing happened, and King J and the rest of the team's gonna take a tower. Well,
that didn't go as expected.
I think what they're trying to do is to
no, wait. This went exactly as expected. This is a panda lineup.
Well, I guess, right? QQ's gonna get initiate on. Call down's nice here against the BKB as it slows, but Tongfu doesn't really care. Burning do use a nice DPS, and no, Super is just on the run. I think the Urn might actually even take him down.
No, he survives. He survives.
Okay, he does. But Naga Siren will not survive as she gets blown up. 10-3, 22 minutes in. Chinese Dota may not be long Dota as Tongfu is playing ultra pushy, ultra aggressive.
Yep. And now they say, well, How doesn't have much life. He has 4.1k gold, so he can go and buy, say, a Basher if he wants to. He can buy a Bloods if he wants extra lifesteal for whatever reason. He goes for Sanjin Yasha instead. So the YYF build, the Loda build, I'll let you decide.
Loda invented Dota, so...
Loda invented Dota.
He also invented wearing the cap.
Yep, that as well. And I stole that.
Yeah.
Just for one day.
But yeah, Tongfu gets kind of dominating this game. I think the last thing they'll be looking to do is take the tier 2. They don't even need to take any risk and go for the Roshan. I call it risk because of Naga again.
Oh, so what are you doing?
Yeah, this is what I meant by they have an opening until Mu gets his Shadow Blade. Because once he gets it, nobody could actually farm outside the map anymore. And they just show that. Free pick off on the mid lane. And they ping top lane. And that tier 2 is coming up next.
Yeah, I mean, more free money for the support will secure. The Blink Dagger for Enigma is already online. Visage is going for an Acceptor, and I think it's a great pickup right now, just because you can. It gives you so much. That's remember that 6-second spell chain stun?
Yeah.
What about a 9?
Yep.
Second.
Looks even better.
Yep. Seems excessive.
Oh, Burning gotta pop that BKB on the run. Nice net here by MMY, but he just does not have enough HP. Call down's gonna come through. Vacuum, boat, where's the boat? No boat just here. RTK losing the mana a little bit. There's a vacuum really, really late. MMY buys back. What is he buying back for? There's just no damage output. How's coming back in. Burning's BKB's out, and How just murders him. Meanwhile, DK on the background gets yet another kill. We're gonna see a GG call very, very soon. Call down boat. Any boat? No, the boat gets lifted. Blink! Black! Oh, the first one! The boat flies by. Just as accessory. Oh, Tower is actually focusing on King J.
And Superman's really unhappy here. It's like, I want to fight.
Yeah. I don't know. That was a pretty nice black hole. Not that it was necessary, but if Tongfu plays like this, we're not gonna have a series. It's gonna be a 2-0.
This is going to be a 2-0. I was saying 2-1, but I don't know at this point. DK showing weak form once again.
I think DK tried to do something that they maybe haven't practiced against, or Tongfu just drafted really well. Because like the Lifestealer, the DK BKB, and the Enigma BKB.
I will give it all to Tongfu. I think that the BKBs were right on point. They just went with that. The wombo combo execution was not bad. I mean,
it happened in the mid lane, right?
Yeah, it happened, and it happened again in the top lane. Like, it could have gone so much better. Then they was screwed that one time with the Song of the Siren and the ball, where the Song of the Siren was never disabled.
Right.
I'm impressed with Tongfu right now. They drafted cleverly. They went against a very hard to play against lineup. And they chose the right items. They won.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I mean, I'm afraid that DK will not be able to just outplay this guy. So unless they go with an excessively smart draft where they just win all the lanes, on even ground, Tongfu takes this.
Well, why they trying to draft this wombo combo lineup? I've never seen them do this. Like, this is new to me.
Yeah.
Why don't they just play, anti-mage, Spectre? Burning knows those heroes.
Yeah, he knows those heroes.
Yeah, so...
Let's see what James and Merlini think about this.
Yeah, I mean, wombo combo, it works, but not when you're behind against BKBs. if you like the DK lineup, BKB complemented their DK fantastically, their Enigma fantastically. You've got Rage on your Life Stealer. So yeah, it was just they fell behind, and the lineup unfortunately wasn't one that was going to allow them to get back in. They really need to. You need to get a good amount of plays on your Kunkka and actually be able to get a Shadow Blade,
Right.
so you can actually be effective and kind of buy some time for your gyrocopter. But they didn't. They couldn't get like I think the first blood was actually on Super, right? Playing the Kunkka. So he got left behind, and then the bottle crowing on the DK played by
Moo.
Make it count.
just the harass damage of being able to bottle crow that early and getting ahead. It's like the Kunkka has a really unsafe time.
Also, you've seen lots of people playing Kunkka, more particularly Sig that was at the house so long. The skill build was just weird. Most Kunkka favor like 2 points in X early if they can just secure that they will hit that torrent, max the Tidebringer as well. You don't really need the high level torrent just for the damage, because
2 points in torrents normally fine, and also some people, I can't remember the other player that's playing Kunkka in Asia, but he's actually like maxing X over both Tide and Torrent, so you can have those really long range initiations. So yeah, unfortunately, it just wasn't. It was unfortunate they were up against a team that played well with BKBs and impossible to kind of beat, and they fell behind. But I'm impressed. Tongfu played it just really nicely, and they used one black hole. I was the least happy that Jay got to use a black hole. He didn't even need to.
No, he just. I mean, you've played Enigma. I think in this other game it was your best hero. So I've heard.
In the other game.
Yeah, in the other
It wasn't
game.
called Enigma then.
Yeah, I know, it was called like something different. But, I mean, you know the hero, you know that when you're playing and your team is winning, you want to use that skill. You go to the fountain dive and use it just to celebrate.
You didn't even need a fountain dive. It was
I
like
just went there, just
nice
playing.
two-man black hole.
The Enigma BKB was just a massive insurance policy for any team fight that wasn't going their way.
He didn't need to initiate. He was there just in case they initiated and something went wrong, then he could just jump in, blink.
Yep.
And that's why I like, even though you said like he doesn't need the blink dagger, you're right. He didn't need it to initiate, but it could have been nice to counter initiate if DK were actually closer as a team in the fights. But they melted. It was painful.
Painful indeed. I thought the draft was relatively even for both teams, but the Kunkka 5th pick and solo mid, it's not really their playstyle. He needs a lot of babysit. I would prefer them to have like a more self-sufficient hero that can escape. For example, Puck, Queen of Pain, or Storm Spirit level 6, but he required a little bit too much babysit, especially after that first blood. He fell too far behind because they usually protect Burning a lot more than they protect Super, and because of that, fell far behind. They had too many BKBs and Rage. Rage is a pain in the butt to deal with. They had a Naga Saturn first pick, but I didn't really feel her impact too much either.
Yeah.
Like, you can just net the lifesteal, but then you have to like run away anyways. It's a little strange, especially when you want to like bring the fight to them with the X, Torrent, Initiate, and the boat back.
Yeah,
in.
it's kind of funny because it's like you've got a Naga who's underfarmed, can net, then has to run away. You've got a Kunkka that's not very farmed, runs up, hits him, runs away, waits for the next splash damage kind of. I can't remember what it's called now. What is it
Tidebringer?
called? Yeah, Tidebringer. Because that was, and you're like, please, Gyro,
Yeah,
do
he didn't even have
damage.
max Tidebringer though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Gyro has to kind of.
I guess,
think he went
yeah,
for
their
BKB.
lineup was cool in theory, but they just had to execute everything. There was no wiggle room for error. Like, if Super feeds and they get BKBs, you're pretty much just boned. And I hope to see just a more safe play from them, just 4 protect 1. No need to go with really risky wombo combo strategy, especially since they didn't look like they executed it very well. Just burning AM, tried and true.
Yeah,
Let's make it work.
That was banned out in the first set of bans, the AM.
I think they banned it. I'm not sure.
I actually think they.
Or Spectre. He
Yeah,
played
or
Spectre
Spectre.
pretty well the other
Look,
day. He
yeah.
carried
You got
them.
you got
Carried the
AM,
board.
Spectre, Alchemist.
Yeah.
They can only
DM
ban 2.
Yeah. Sorry, DK did actually ban the
Okay,
anti-mage.
okay.
Yeah, you're right. They did ban it. They were dire. All right then. So before we get into game number 2, we're going to take a quick break here at Alienware Cup, and this is the last game for today. So make sure you stick around. If Tongfu win the next map in the best of 3, they will of course advance to play not tomorrow, but the next day. I believe that tomorrow there is no Alienware Cup.
I believe
we're
that's
taking a
correct.
day off. It's going to be glorious.
Yeah.
LD second day off.
Yeah. And of course, we'll be coming back with the upper bracket finals and lower bracket finals, which are getting set up today. We already know our upper bracket finals, which is LGT China versus Na'Vi. But when we come back, as I mentioned, game 2 of Tongfu versus DK. See you in a moment.